Now this video is probably going to ruffle some feathers, but just remember this is all very personal to me. In no way should my experience with these sneakers put you off wearing them or stop you buying them if you love them. Also, my taste changes over time, so who knows, I might love them again at some point. But right now, these are the sneakers that I regret buying the most. Part 2. If you like this video at any point and it doesn't make you too angry, then please feel free to drop it a like. And now that's all out the way, let's get into the sneakers. So first up, we've got my Margiela Gats. So where do I even start with this one? This one's a mess. Okay, so the first pair I got of these were too big for me, and rather than sending them back for another size, I got scared. But basically, when I was trying them on in my house, I was walking around in them as you do when you're trying on shoes, and I put some tiny creases in the toe box. And because of this, I felt like I could no longer send them back, so instead I sold them for a loss on Depop. I then used the money I got from those, plus more, to get a smaller size, and after all of that, I've worn them about twice in the last 2 years. I love the look of the shoe, and I love how they look on others, but I can't make them work for me in the way that I want. And whenever I see myself in these, they don't match up with the look that I've got in my head, if that makes sense. And coming in at £500 and wearing them twice in the last 2 years, does that sound like money well spent to you? Because it doesn't to me. Anyway, let's move on to another pair of sneakers before I start crying over the amount of money I spent on these. Next up, I've got the Adidas Gazelle in the blue colorway. So the Adidas Gazelle Indoor is one of my favorite sneakers, so I thought it was a good idea to pick it up in multiple colors. The first pair I got were in green, and I wore them so much I decided to pick them up in the blue colorway as well. Now I actually prefer the color of the blue pair to look at, but they're just so bright that I never want to wear them. For me, the green pair are a lot more subtle and a lot more versatile, so if I'm going to wear these sneakers, then I'll always wear that pair. In fact, I've never worn the blue pair outside the house, so they were a waste of money for me. But I think the other reason I bought these shoes is they were selling out like hotcakes, and because I loved the look of them so much, I didn't want to miss out on them, so I didn't think too much and just bought them. But yeah, even though I love the look of these sneakers, they're just not that wearable for me, so that's why they're on this list. Next up, I've got the Adidas Samba. Now I wish these sneakers weren't on this list, but they have to be because my feet have never got on with them. At first, when I was breaking these in, they ripped my heels to shreds and they were so painful. I looked like an extra from 28 Days Later or The Walking Dead walking down the road in these. It wasn't a great look. And then after the whole heel shredding phase was over, I just find them a little bit too tight and uncomfortable to wear for long periods of time. And when I own a pair of shoes like the Adidas Gazelles that give off a similar look but are a lot more comfortable, I'm going to go for those every time. It's a shame because I really do love these sneakers and I know a lot of people find them really comfortable, so maybe they're just not made for my feet. And next up, I've got the Onitsuka Tiger GSM. So if you've been subscribed to my channel for a while now, you're probably a bit surprised to see this sneaker on this list because I absolutely loved them and I still do. But I think this shoe suited my old style really well when I was into the whole clean cut, Scandi streetwear kind of look, and I've since moved away from that. These days I like to go for the more darker and edgier looks, and I find this sneaker is too clean cut for that. And when I first bought these, I was just coming out of my old style and into my new style, so they never got the wear they deserved. And after holding on to these for a good while, I finally decided to let them go and give them to a home that would enjoy them more than I would. And hopefully they're having the time of their lives with their new owner and getting the love and wear that they deserve. But yeah, a great pair of shoes and excellent quality too, but just not right for me right now. But let's move on. Next up, we have my pair of Onitsuka Tiger Mexico 66s. Now it sounds like I don't like Onitsuka Tiger sneakers from this video, but you couldn't be further from the truth. I love their sneakers, I think they're incredible, but I just think they might not be right for me right now. But anyway, I picked up a pair of their Mexico 66s in the black and white colorway last summer, and since then I've worn them a grand total of 0 times. Whenever I try them on with an outfit, I always think to myself, yeah, they look alright, but I think another pair of sneakers would look better, or a pair of shoes. So I end up swapping them out for whichever pair I think would look better. On the plus side, I find them really comfortable, they feel great on my feet, I just can't put my finger on why I don't love them on me. Anyway, unlike my other pair of Onitsuka Tigers that I thought I would never wear so I sold on, I do think this pair will have their time for me, so I'm holding on to them. But until these do have their moment for me, I think they're going to have to go down as a regret. Next up, I have the Vans Skate High, and even though I still love them, they're going in this list. I swear I've said I love every sneaker on this list so far, but it's true. I wouldn't have bought any of them if I didn't love the look of them in the first place, but sometimes things just don't work out as you'd hoped. Anyway, these fit me well and they look cool, but there's something about Vans at the moment that's stopping me wanting to wear them. And I have two theories about why that might be, which I'm going to tell you about now. So firstly, these remind me of my Converse Chuck 70s, and if you didn't know already, I'm a massive Converse fan, so I'll normally choose to wear those over these every time. The other thing is I grew up wearing Vans, so I kind of associate them with my younger self. And I'm not sure if I want that. I kind of feel like I'm going backwards whenever I wear them, and I want to wear new things. Does that make sense? But on the other hand, or foot, because I wore Vans growing up, I've still got a soft spot for them, and that's why I bought these. But for the other reasons I just mentioned, I've barely worn these, and that's why they're on this list. Now the next one is probably going to upset a lot of you, but just remember this is all very personal to me, but it's the Reebok Club C 85. Now I've had a few pairs of these over my lifetime, and I used to absolutely love wearing these shoes. And I think the pair I've got currently are my fourth pair, but unlike my other pairs, I've hardly worn these. I still think they're a cool shoe, and I still like them, but I don't get excited about wearing them these days. I think back in the day, I used to see this shoe as a slim profile shoe that goes with everything, that's really sleek. But since then, I've owned so many other sleeker trainers that I don't see them in the same way anymore. I think they look a little bit clumsy and a little bit bulky at times, and I suppose you could say that adds to their charm, but it's just not doing it for me at the moment. I'm not really a fan of the way these age either. They crease in a way that I don't really like. And yeah, I probably would have been better off not buying this pair. Is anyone else with me on this one, or are you all screaming at your screens calling me an idiot? Let me know how you're feeling. Next up, I've got the Adidas Handball Specials. Now when I first got these shoes, I absolutely loved them and I wanted to wear them all the time. They were really comfortable, they fit me well, and they went with everything. But ever since I got my Gazelle indoors, I feel like all my other Adidas sneakers have taken a bit of a backseat, and I don't really need them anymore. And I think that's the problem when you buy things that are so similar to one another. There'll always be one pair that you like more than the other pairs, so whenever you wear the other pairs, you think to yourself, well, these look good, but the Gazelles would look better, so I'm just going to wear them instead. Well, that's what I think anyway. But then I look at this pair and I think they look absolutely delicious, so maybe I'm just bored of my pair in the black colorway. But these are too similar to my green Gazelles, so I'm going to have to stop myself buying them. But they do look good, don't they? But after all this, would I recommend any of the sneakers on this list? Yes, I would, 100%. I'd actually recommend all of them, providing that you love them and that you'll actually wear them. They're all great sneakers, they're all classics, but I just didn't need to buy all of them. I think with the job I'm in, I've definitely got carried away with buying more than I need in the past, and this is the result of that. I'm a lot more careful with my purchases these days, and I don't think I bought a pair of sneakers this year, yet. But I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please do leave the video a like, don't forget to hit subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. See you later.